Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever wondered if the greatest gift you can give yourself in old age is to live close to your children? The idea is comforting. To spend your twilight years surrounded by the laughter of grandchildren and the security of family. But what if this seemingly perfect decision carried the seeds of sorrow instead of joy? Could it be that living close to your children in old age might be one of the biggest mistakes of your life? Today, we delve into a Zen-inspired story to uncover the deeper truth about attachment, independence, and the surprising path to true happiness. The desire for closeness. Imagine a man who has spent his entire life working tirelessly for his family, raising his children, and providing them with opportunities. As he grows older, he finds himself increasingly alone. The once lively home, filled with the chaos of family life, now feels eerily silent. Longing for the warmth of connection, he decides to move closer to one of his children. Initially, everything feels perfect. His children welcome him warmly, and his grandchildren's laughter fills the void in his heart. But as time passes, subtle changes creep in. The frequency of visits dwindles, and the lively moments he cherished become scarce. He begins to question if this move, meant to bring him joy, has only deepened his loneliness. The illusion of happiness. The man reflects on his expectations. He had believed that proximity to his children would naturally foster closeness and emotional support. However, the reality is different. His children are busy with their lives, and their availability to him decreases. Weekends, once filled with family gatherings, turn into solitary evenings. He realizes that while he lives physically near his children, the emotional connection he longed for remains distant. Buddhist teachings offer a perspective here. Attachment is the root of suffering. The man begins to see that his attachment to the idea of family closeness has created expectations that, when unmet, lead to disappointment and heartache. The weight of expectations. As the man's isolation grows, so does his resentment. He reflects on the sacrifices he made for his children, the sleepless nights, the hard work, and the unwavering support. In his mind, these sacrifices have earned him the right to their attention and care. But the more he clings to these expectations, the heavier his heart feels. One night, a dream brings him clarity. A Zen master appears, saying, "You are suffering not because of your children, but because of your attachment to them. Let go of your expectations, and peace will follow." Waking from the dream, the man begins to understand that he has placed an unfair burden on his children by expecting them to fulfill his emotional needs. True peace, he realizes, must come from within. The realization of attachment. The man begins a journey of self-reflection. He remembers a fundamental teaching of Buddhism. Nothing is yours, everything is borrowed. His children, whom he loves deeply, are not his to possess. They have their own lives, challenges, and responsibilities. By clinging to them and expecting them to fulfill his needs, he has inadvertently set himself up for suffering. This realization is both painful and liberating. It allows him to see that his suffering is not caused by his children's actions, but by his own attachment to them. He begins to shift his focus from what he lacks to what he can cultivate within himself. The dangers of dependence. Dependence on others, particularly emotional dependence, can be a double-edged sword. The man realizes that by relying on his children for companionship and happiness, he has weakened his ability to find peace on his own. He recalls a story told by a Buddhist monk. In it, a traveler complains about the heavy sack of grain he must carry. When offered help, he refuses, saying, If I do not carry this burden myself, I will never gain the strength to walk on my own. This story resonates deeply with the man. He sees that his dependence on his children has been like placing his emotional burden on their shoulders, instead of building the resilience to carry it himself. The path to inner peace. Sitting under the shade of a tree. One quiet afternoon, the man experiences a moment of profound clarity. He recalls another teaching of the Buddha. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. The source of his unhappiness was not his children's actions, but his own expectations and attachments. He begins to let go of these expectations and shifts his focus to the simple joys of everyday life. The sound of birds at dawn, the warmth of the sun, and the tranquility of meditation become his sources of happiness. By finding contentment within, he discovers a peace that no external relationship could provide. The freedom of letting go. As the man releases his attachment to his children, he feels a newfound freedom. He no longer waits for their visits or measures his happiness by their attention. Instead, he cherishes the moments they do share and allows their relationship to unfold naturally, free of pressure or obligation. This change has a ripple effect. His children, sensing the absence of expectation, begin to visit more often, not out of duty, but out of genuine love. The man's relationships with them deepen, becoming more authentic and harmonious. The wisdom of impermanence. One of Buddhism's core teachings is the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is transient. The man reflects on this truth and sees how it applies to his role as a father. His children are no longer the small, dependent beings they once were. They have grown into adults with their own lives and challenges. By accepting this impermanence, the man finds peace in the knowledge that change is a natural part of life. Clinging to the past or wishing for things to remain the same only brings suffering. Instead, he learns to embrace each moment as it comes. Practical examples and lessons. To illustrate the wisdom of letting go, the man draws from everyday experiences. He remembers the joy of teaching his children to ride bicycles. Back then, he knew the importance of letting go, literally, to allow them to find their balance. Now, he sees that the same principle applies to emotional attachment. Just as his children needed the freedom to learn and grow, he too needs the freedom to find his own balance in old age. He also shares stories from his meditation practice, where he learned to observe his thoughts without judgment. By applying this mindfulness to his relationships, he discovers that he can let go of negative emotions and cultivate a sense of gratitude for what he has. Conclusion: embracing inner peace. This story invites us to reflect on our own attachments and expectations. How often do we place our happiness in the hands of others, expecting them to fulfill our needs and desires? True contentment can only be cultivated from within. By letting go of attachment and embracing life's impermanence, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. As the elderly man discovered, happiness does not come from living close to others, but from finding peace within. May we all find the strength to let go of our expectations, seek inner contentment, and embrace each moment with gratitude and openness. Imagine this. You're trying your best, doing everything you can, and yet life seems to be turning its back on you. You wonder, why is everything so unfair? Why isn't anything going my way? It's a feeling we all know too well. But have you ever considered that maybe the problem lies not in life being unfair, but in our expectations of fairness? In this video, We'll dive deep into what Buddhist teachings reveal about dealing with life's toughest moments. When things go wrong, it's easy to feel lost. But, as the Buddha taught, there's a different approach, a mindset that brings a peace even in chaos. First point, understanding the nature of life. Original video 15%. Buddhist wisdom begins with an understanding that life is inherently unpredictable. The root of our suffering often stems from the belief that life should be perfect or fair. The Buddha stated, "Expectations lead to suffering." This simple truth points out that by expecting life to be smooth, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Personal opinion. Extension 20%. Imagine you're driving through a rainstorm. You can either curse the rain or learn to drive carefully through it, knowing the sun will shine again. It's the same with life. If we accept its unpredictability, we begin to embrace the ups and downs without resistance. Instead of asking, "Why me?" we should ask, "What can I learn from this?" Second point, analyze the situation. Original video 10%. When challenges arise, the first thing the Buddha suggests is to assess the situation. We can break down life's problems into two categories: situations we can control, situations we cannot control. The mistake many of us make is spending time on things outside of our control. Personal opinion. Extension 20%. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic. You can either stress and fume or accept that it's beyond your control. What can you control? Your patience, your mindset, your reaction. The same principle applies to life. The more we focus on what we can change, the less of time we spend in frustration. Third point, if it's in your control, act. Original video 10%. If you discover that a situation is within your control, whether it's a mistake you made or an opportunity you missed, take action. You are responsible for changing your own life. Only you can correct your mistakes or adjust your actions. The Buddha teaches that no one else can live your life for you. Personal opinion. Extension 20%. Let's take a relatable example. Imagine failing an exam. While it's easy to blame external factors, the only way to improve is by acknowledging what you could have done better. Instead of getting stuck in a cycle of guilt or self-pity, acting on your mistakes will help you grow. You are the captain of your ship, and no storm can stop you if you know how to steer. Fourth point, if it's beyond your control, change your perspective. Original video 15%. When situations are out of your control, like how others treat you or unforeseen circumstances, changing your perspective is key. This doesn't mean accepting defeat, but rather adopting a positive outlook. Personal opinion. Extension 25%. Think about a time when someone's criticism hurt you. While you cannot control their words, you can control how you react. Instead of letting their words bring you down, you can choose to see it as an opportunity for growth. By shifting your perspective, you take back your power. This is what the Buddha means when he says, "Change your perspective, and the world will change with you." Middle section. Specific examples to illustrate the teachings. Let's explore real-life examples of how people have embraced these teachings. Example 1. A story of resilience. Consider the story of a young woman who lost her job unexpectedly. At first, she was devastated. But after reflecting on the Buddha's teachings, she realized that while she couldn't control the company's decision, she could control how she responded. She decided to start her own business, one that eventually brought her far more fulfillment than her previous job. By shifting her perspective, she transformed a painful situation into a new opportunity. Example 2. dealing with criticism. A man faced constant criticism at work, which drained his energy and self-esteem. Instead of letting others' opinions dictate his happiness, he remembered the Buddhist teaching that criticism is beyond his control. By focusing on improving himself rather than worrying about others' judgments, he not only grew professionally, but also found inner peace. It's easy to forget this in a world that pushes us to strive for more success, more control, more perfection. We are conditioned to believe that happiness comes from having everything go our way. But true happiness, as Buddhist teachings reveal, comes from within. It comes from letting go of expectations and embracing life as it unfolds. Imagine the freedom in knowing that you don't need to control everything to be happy. You can breathe, smile, and accept whatever comes your way. So, what can you do when life doesn't go your way? First, analyze the situation. Determine if it's in your control or not. If it is, take action. If it isn't, change your perspective. By doing so, you will find that life doesn't need to be fair for you to find peace. At the end of the day, remember the Buddha's wisdom. Life is unpredictable. But with the right mindset, you can navigate its twists and turns with grace. Peace comes not from controlling life, but from accepting it. If there's one thing to take away from this teaching, it's this. You don't need life to go your way to be happy. Happiness isn't about perfect circumstances. It's about a peaceful mind. So, next time you face a challenge, pause, breathe, and remember the power you have within to change your perspective. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine this. With something as simple as salt, you could cleanse your spirit, lighten your steps, and connect to ancient wisdom passed down for generations. Have you ever considered that a seemingly mundane substance like salt might carry spiritual significance that could transform your life? In today's video, we'll unravel the ancient Buddhist practice of placing salt in your shoes, and why this tradition, though centuries old, might just hold the key to your spiritual and physical well-being. Stick around, because by the end, you'll not only know how this ritual impacts the mind and body, but also feel a deeper connection to the wisdom of those who walked the earth before us. The multifaceted uses of salt in daily life salt is much more than just a kitchen ingredient. It has been celebrated for its countless domestic uses, from cleaning to skincare, and even in healing practices. But while modern medicine focuses on salt's physical properties, Buddhists see beyond that. For them, salt is a tool that helps both spiritually and physically, promoting balance in our everyday lives. Think about the various ways you might have already used salt: seasoning food, cleaning surfaces, or healing a wound. The benefits are clear. However, the practice we'll explore today transcends practical use. This is about using salt as a sacred tool, one that connects you to your inner self and the universe. Now, let's dive into this unique tradition and its 5 spiritual and health benefits, as shared through a timeless Zen story. The Zen story of Master Makoto. In a monastery nestled in the Japanese mountains lived Master Makoto, a revered monk with deep knowledge of Buddhism and Oriental medicine. One day, as the morning light filtered through the trees, he gathered his disciples for a lesson. With his calm demeanor, he explained that life, like any journey, requires careful preparation. And sometimes that preparation involves the simplest tools, like salt. Master Makoto introduced the ancient custom of placing salt in one's shoes. The disciples, intrigued, listened closely as he explained 5 reasons why this practice holds deep spiritual and health significance. The spiritual lessons from Salt Reason. 1. Absorbing worries and suffering. Makoto's first teaching was that salt has the power to absorb not just moisture, but also the emotional weight we carry, our worries and sufferings. Just as the Buddha absorbed the world's suffering, salt can help us carry a lighter emotional load. Physically, it absorbs sweat and keeps our steps light, but spiritually, it represents the release of burdens, offering clarity on the path to inner peace. To bring this lesson to life, the story of an old fisherman is shared. Caught in a fierce storm, the fisherman saved his boat by throwing a bag of salt onto the deck to absorb the floodwaters. In the same way, salt in your shoes absorbs emotional floodwaters and clears the path for spiritual clarity. My take. In modern times, we often get weighed down by the stresses of life, whether it's work, family, or personal challenges. The practice of placing salt in our shoes can serve as a symbolic reminder to let go of that stress. We're not just absorbing moisture, we're releasing the emotional burdens that slow us down, allowing for a freer, lighter stride in life. This act is a gentle nudge towards mindfulness and emotional well-being. Reason 2. Purification from negative energy. Makoto's second point highlights salt's purifying properties. Throughout history, salt has been used in rituals to ward off evil spirits or cleanse spaces. In Buddhist tradition, placing salt in your shoes purifies your path from spiritual obstacles. It protects your mind from deceptions and distractions. The monk shared a vivid story. A traveler, on his journey, had to cross a river teeming with evil spirits. But because he had salt in his shoes, he was able to make it across unharmed. This story reflects how salt acts as a spiritual shield, cleansing and protecting us from unseen forces. In today's world, negative energy can come in many forms: social media, toxic relationships, or even our own self-doubt. While we may not literally battle evil spirits, we constantly face distractions and negativity. By symbolically placing salt in our shoes, we create a boundary between ourselves and these harmful influences, allowing us to stay focused on our goals and our spiritual journey. Reason 3. Maintaining balance. Makoto then taught that salt helps us maintain balance. Physically, it stabilizes our steps. Spiritually, it anchors us amidst life's storms. This connection to balance resonates deeply with Buddhist teachings about the middle path, avoiding extremes and finding equilibrium. He explained this by comparing salt to the surrounding mountains: firm, steady, and enduring. Just as the mountains remain unmoved by wind or storm, salt in your shoes roots you to the earth, ensuring stability in both body and mind. In a world of constant change and chaos, maintaining balance is crucial. Whether it's the balance between work and rest, or the equilibrium of mind and body, small actions like this practice remind us to stay grounded. The symbolism of salt as an anchor can help us reconnect with nature and our core values, preventing us from being swept away by life's turbulence. Reason 4. Healing power. Salt is known for its healing properties. Makoto emphasized how placing salt in shoes not only benefits the body, relieving tension and pain, but also aids in mental healing. He told the story of a farmer who healed a painful foot wound by soaking it in salt water, highlighting its role in alleviating physical and spiritual discomforts. Personal reflection. Just as salt heals wounds, it can metaphorically heal our inner pain. Modern life brings about emotional wounds, anxiety, heartbreak, exhaustion. Incorporating salt in our daily routine can symbolize self-care and healing, reminding us to take time to nurture both our bodies and souls. Reason 5. A gesture of gratitude. Lastly, Makoto revealed that placing salt in your shoes is an act of gratitude. It reminds us to be thankful for the earth's gifts and the wisdom of past generations. Each grain of salt represents the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us. The monk described it as a rite of passage, connecting us to the lives and lessons of previous generations. This ancient practice carries their spirit forward, helping us appreciate life's challenges and blessings. My opinion: practicing gratitude is a powerful way to shift our mindset. In today's fast-paced world, we often take simple things for granted, but by embracing this ritual, we ground ourselves in thankfulness, appreciating both the joys and hardships that shape our journey. As the story of Master Makoto comes to a close, the disciples are left with a deep understanding of this seemingly simple practice. Salt in shoes is more than a tradition. It's a spiritual tool that connects the physical and the divine. It absorbs worries, purifies our path, helps us find balance, heals our wounds, and reminds us to be grateful. For you too, this practice could become a daily ritual, helping you walk through life with lighter, more purposeful steps. Whether you try it or simply reflect on its lessons, the key takeaway is clear. Sometimes the smallest actions hold the deepest meaning, and by embracing them, we can navigate our personal journeys with wisdom and grace. Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever wondered if the way you sleep impacts your health? Most people don't think twice about their sleep positions, but did you know that sleeping on your left side could bring surprising benefits to your body and mind? From improving digestion to supporting your heart, the ancient wisdom of Zen monks offers insight into why left-side sleeping could transform your well-being. In this video, you'll discover why Buddhist monks have embraced this practice for centuries, and how it could benefit your health physically and spiritually. Stay tuned, because this isn't just about sleep. This is about transforming your life through mindful practices that connect body, mind, and spirit. The Zen, Monastery, and Sleep Wisdom. Our story begins in a tranquil Buddhist monastery nestled in the serene mountains of Japan. Master Shinzo, an elderly monk revered for his wisdom, gathered his disciples for a special lesson on an often overlooked aspect of daily life: sleep. The moonlight bathed the temple as Shinzo began to speak. Today, we explore why sleeping on your left side is not just a physical act, but a practice that nurtures your body, mind, and spirit. This knowledge has been passed down for centuries, but its importance is timeless. Imagine the serenity of such a setting, where monks strive for inner balance through every action, even sleep. Shinzo shared that sleeping on the left side has been a part of Buddhist monastic life because it supports optimal lymphatic drainage, heart health, and even digestion. As modern science catches up to these age-old practices, you'll be amazed at how this simple habit can elevate your overall well-being. The benefits of left-side sleeping. Sleeping on the left side is not a random practice. It's deeply connected to the body's natural rhythms. Here are the key benefits as outlined by Master Shinzo, intertwined with modern understanding. Lymphatic drainage. The body's lymphatic system is like a river that flows through us, cleansing toxins. Sleeping on your left side clears the path for this vital process, Shinzo explained. He likened it to a quiet river carrying away dry leaves, an image that evokes peace and health. By resting on your left side, you help the body rid itself of waste more efficiently. Imagine allowing your body to detox every night just by changing your sleep position. Digestive harmony. Shinzo spoke of the stomach and pancreas, comparing them to dancers in a sacred performance. When you sleep on your left side, gastric juices flow more freely, aiding digestion. This natural position supports the movement of food through your system. It's as if your organs are celebrating inside you, the monk said with a smile. This is not just about digestion. It's a way of nurturing your entire body. Heart health. Perhaps the most important benefit is for the heart. Shinzo described the heart as a ruler of the body, and sleeping on the left side gives it the space to function with less strain. Blood flows more naturally, and the heart pumps more efficiently. It's a simple act of kindness towards your body's most vital organ. Spiritual awakening through sleep. While these benefits are physical, there is a deeper spiritual connection as well. Shinzo explained how sleeping on the left side aligns with the natural energy of the universe, promoting harmony between body and mind. While the world sleeps, you, as practitioners of conscious sleep, awaken to the depth of being, he taught his disciples. This practice is not just a rest for the body, but an opportunity for spiritual growth. Sleep as a sacred practice. At this point, you might be thinking, can changing my sleep position really have such a profound impact? From personal experience, I can say that adopting this practice has transformed the way I feel every morning. Just like those ancient monks, I found that something as simple as how you sleep can make you more mindful and connected to your body's natural rhythms. Incorporating this ancient wisdom into our busy, modern lives offers a simple yet effective way to promote better health. Try it tonight. Lay down on your left side and let your body do the rest. You'll wake up feeling lighter, more refreshed, and perhaps even more spiritually connected. Sleep as a healing ritual master. Shinzo's teachings also delved into the holistic benefits of sleep. One fascinating story he shared was about an elderly monk who had trouble meditating due to physical stiffness. After consciously sleeping on his left side for several months, the monk noticed that not only did his body become more flexible, but his mind also felt lighter, allowing him to deepen his meditation practice. This is a beautiful reminder that health is not only about what we do while we are awake. Our sleep is equally important. Just as the elderly monk embraced sleep as part of his spiritual practice, we too can use sleep to foster healing, balance, and self-awareness. The lesson here is simple. The quality of our sleep affects every aspect of our lives. Sleeping on the left side helps our organs function optimally, promotes circulation, and allows the body to detox. But even more importantly, it offers a moment of mindfulness that can deepen our spiritual practice. Just like those monks who have practiced this for centuries, we too can find balance, both in body and spirit. In conclusion, the act of sleeping on your left side is much more than a physical habit. It's an ancient practice that can improve both your physical health and spiritual well-being. Through the teachings of Master Shinzo, we see how something as simple as changing your sleep position can become a powerful tool for wellness. If you've stayed with us until the end, I hope this video has inspired you to think more deeply about your sleep. Next time you lay down, remember the wisdom of the Zen monks. Sleep consciously, and let your body and spirit heal in harmony. If this video has opened your eyes to the profound connection between sleep and health, don't forget to hit the like button, share this video with friends, and subscribe for more ancient wisdom brought to modern life. Sleep well, and may your dreams bring you peace. Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever wondered why certain customs and rituals, no matter how unusual they seem, have persisted through centuries? One such practice is the ancient Buddhist tradition of putting salt in your shoes. While it might sound strange to our modern ears, the reasons behind this custom are profound, blending spirituality, health, and inner peace. In today's fast-paced world, where we often seek solutions in complex strategies, perhaps looking back at the simplicity of ancient wisdom offers valuable lessons. Imagine walking through life, and with every step, you feel lighter, more grounded, and spiritually protected. This is what salt in your shoes symbolizes in Buddhism, and as we dive into this story, we'll uncover not only the traditional reasons, but also how this practice can be applied to modern life. Along the way, we'll hear stories of ancient monks, brave travelers, and ordinary people who found extraordinary power in this simple practice. So, let's explore this spiritual journey together, and by the end, you may find yourself trying out this ritual and understanding the hidden wisdom that lies within it. 1. Salt as a symbol of lightness and letting go. The first reason salt plays a significant role in this practice is its ability to absorb moisture, just as the Buddha absorbs the suffering of the world. In the Zen story told by the monk Makoto, he explains that when we walk through life, our steps become heavy. Not because of the physical weight we carry, but due to the worries, stresses, and emotional burdens we accumulate. Imagine walking in the rain, your shoes becoming heavy and uncomfortable. This is how our minds often feel when filled with anxiety and negativity. Putting salt in your shoes becomes a metaphor for lightening your spiritual load, letting go of that heaviness, and allowing yourself to move forward freely. In our busy lives, we tend to carry more than we need. Stress from work, family, and societal expectations can weigh us down, just like the moisture in our shoes. We can draw a parallel between salt in shoes and modern mindfulness practices, such as journaling or meditation, that allow us to absorb and release mental clutter. In Buddhism, salt's ability to lighten our steps can be seen as a form of spiritual cleansing, similar to how we might feel after a deep meditation session or a walk in nature. For example, during a particularly challenging time in my life, I found that taking evening walks while focusing on each step helped me release worries. Every step became a moment to let go. I wasn't putting salt in my shoes, but the practice felt very similar, clearing my mind of unnecessary burdens and focusing only on the present moment. 2. Salt as a purifier, protecting your spiritual path. In Buddhist and many ancient traditions, salt is seen as a powerful purifier. When Makoto tells his disciples the story of the traveler who crosses a river filled with evil spirits, it's not just a tale of overcoming obstacles. It's about how salt, when placed in your shoes, becomes a form of spiritual armor, protecting you from negative influences. We often think of purification in physical terms, cleaning our homes or disinfecting surfaces. But spiritually, purification is about cleansing our minds and hearts from harmful thoughts, negative energy, and toxic relationships. In this way, putting salt in your shoes becomes a symbol of walking a protected path where negative energies are absorbed and neutralized before they can affect you. In today's world, we might not be warding off evil spirits, but we certainly encounter negativity. Think of the toxic influences we deal with, whether in the form of harmful relationships, societal pressures, or even our own inner critic. We can view salt as a metaphor for boundaries. Just like the traveler was protected from the spirits, we too need to set boundaries that protect our mental and emotional well-being. For instance, I've often found that when I distance myself from negativity, whether through mindful practices or by establishing clear personal boundaries, it's like putting salt in my spiritual shoes. The negativity simply can't get to me. 3. Finding balance. Salt as a grounding force. The third reason Makoto shares is that salt helps us maintain balance. In his lesson, he compares the stability of mountains with the stability we seek in our own lives. When we are rooted, like the mountains, we are less likely to be shaken by life's storms. In modern times, finding balance is more critical than ever. Our lives are filled with constant distractions, and it's easy to feel disconnected or unbalanced. When you imagine putting salt in your shoes, picture it as a grounding practice, something that stabilizes you and helps you stay rooted to the earth, even when things around you are chaotic. Finding balance, for me, is an ongoing journey. Life will always throw challenges our way, whether it's work deadlines, family obligations, or unexpected events. But like the salt grounding our steps, we can create small daily rituals that help us find stability. It could be as simple as a morning meditation or an evening gratitude practice. In Makoto's story, balance isn't just about physical stability, but also emotional and spiritual equilibrium. It's about finding harmony between action and rest, work and play. This resonates deeply because it's often in the moments of balance, where we are neither pushing too hard nor letting go completely, that we find true peace. The fourth reason for this practice is salt's healing properties. In Oriental medicine, salt is considered a natural remedy for pain and tension. Makoto tells the story of a farmer who healed his wounded foot by soaking it in salt water. But this lesson goes beyond physical healing. It's also about healing the mind and spirit. We live in a world where emotional and mental health are just as important as physical health. Stress, anxiety, and depression are common struggles for many. The idea of salt as a healer can be expanded to mean anything that helps you release tension, whether it's physical, emotional, or mental. In my personal experience, I've found that simple rituals, like taking a warm bath with Epsom salts, can not only soothe sore muscles, but also clear the mind. The act of self-care, in itself, becomes a form of healing. Just as the farmer found relief from his pain, we too can find healing by incorporating simple, mindful practices into our daily lives. 5. Gratitude. Salt as a connection to generations past. The final reason Makoto shares is the most profound. Putting salt in your shoes is an act of gratitude. Salt, being a gift from the earth, reminds us to be thankful for life's offerings. This practice also connects us to generations before us, as Makoto explains. Every grain of salt represents the wisdom and resilience of those who came before us. Gratitude is a powerful force, and incorporating it into our daily lives can shift our perspective. The idea that salt connects us to past generations is a beautiful reminder that we are not alone in our struggles. Our ancestors faced their own challenges and overcame them, just as we will. In today's fast-paced society, we often forget to pause and appreciate the little things. But when we take a moment to reflect on the blessings in our lives, our health, our family, the beauty of nature, it's like grounding ourselves in gratitude. Just as salt connects us to the earth, gratitude connects us to the essence of life itself. The Zen story of putting salt in your shoes teaches us more than just an ancient practice. It reminds us to walk through life with lightness, protected from negativity, balanced in our steps, and mindful of healing and gratitude. In today's world, where distractions and stressors are endless, these lessons are more relevant than ever. Whether or not you decide to put literal salt in your shoes, the metaphor is clear. We all need something to absorb the weight of our worries, something to ground us, heal us, and remind us of the resilience of the human spirit. As you walk through your day, remember Makoto's words and the stories shared in this video. Let the salt you carry, whether physical or metaphorical, lighten your steps, protect your spirit, and guide you toward a more balanced and peaceful life. Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever stared at your palm and wondered what those intricate lines mean? Palmistry has always intrigued people across different cultures, and one particular symbol, the letter M, holds a powerful significance. If you have this symbol on your hand, it could indicate something far beyond mere coincidence. While you may think this is just another mystic tale, this Zen story unearths deep spiritual truths linked to this mysterious mark. Stay with us, as this exploration may leave you looking at your own hand with newfound amazement. The Buddhist tale of Ninsi and his disciples. Our story begins in a tranquil Buddhist temple, nestled in a serene Japanese forest, where an elderly monk named Ninsi gathers his disciples. With his usual calm demeanor, Ninsi speaks to his students, not about palmistry directly, but about the deeper mysteries of destiny, universal signs, and inner wisdom. He asks his students if they have ever felt the universe whispering to them, or sensed an unknown force guiding them. This question sparks curiosity, and one disciple finally confesses to having the letter M on the palm of his hand. Another disciple shares a tale of anxiety, having heard that this mark foretells a shorter life. Ninsi, smiling warmly, prepares to unravel the mystery. The power of the letter M. Ninsi tells a parable of a traveler guided by a star in the shape of an M, illuminating his path. According to Ninsi, the letter M on one's palm can be seen as a symbol of inner guidance. Just like the star guiding the traveler, this mark can lead you toward your true essence and spiritual mission. But this guidance isn't about leading you to physical locations. Rather, it represents the internal journey toward self-discovery and the actions that shape your life. If you bear the letter M, you may find yourself drawn to significant leadership roles, politically, in business, or simply as someone who inspires others. But with such power comes a responsibility to use it wisely, Ninsi warns. Real-life applications. Leaders with M power. The monk's teachings can easily be applied to our lives. People with the letter M on their hands may not be destined to rule countries or corporations, but they often have an undeniable influence over those around them. From teachers to doctors to spiritual guides, they possess a magnetic quality, much like the moon drawing stars in its orbit. Their energy uplifts those around them, fostering growth, compassion, and wisdom. Consider, for instance, famous leaders throughout history. Many of them displayed this quiet inner strength. Although their palms are long forgotten, their ability to inspire and guide others mirrors the qualities Nancy describes. Whether they knew it or not, their M could have been their unseen spiritual guide. A balancing act, the dangers of misusing the gift. Despite these inspiring possibilities, Nancy reminds his disciples that the letter M is not simply a blessing, but a challenge. Like the travelers who lose their way in the dark, those with this gift can also be misled. If the energy within them is not used for good, it can lead to selfishness, arrogance, or even harm. In our modern world, we often see this play out in individuals with tremendous potential who lose their way. They might become consumed by the pursuit of power or wealth, disregarding the needs of those around them. This is the shadow side of the letter M, and, as Nancy points out, only those who walk the path of wisdom and humility can truly harness its power. The universal message, even without the M. But what about those who don't have the letter M on their hands? Nancy, in his profound wisdom, reassures his disciples that everyone has access to the strength and insight that the letter symbolizes. It's not the physical mark that matters, but the internal alignment with the universe's wisdom. Every person, whether they bear the mark or not, has the potential for inner growth and realization. We can all look inward and find the same qualities within us. Spiritual realization is about cultivating self-awareness, mindfulness, and compassion. You don't need a mystical sign on your hand to connect with the universe's guiding forces. Specific examples in today's world. Let's look at some examples of individuals who may not bear the letter M physically, but exhibit the qualities Nancy describes. Think of influential figures in the fields of social activism, like Malala Yousafzai. While she doesn't speak of having an M on her hand, her energy, courage, and ability to lead resonate with the spiritual power that Nancy's story conveys. Or consider an everyday figure, like a teacher who consistently inspires their students to be better, or a parent who leads their family with quiet strength and guidance. These people, without ever knowing it, embody the essence of the letter M. Lessons for us all: how to navigate life's journey. So, what's the takeaway for those of us listening to this tale of mystical marks and Buddhist wisdom? Whether we possess the letter M or not, we all have the power to lead a life of purpose and spiritual alignment. The key is to be mindful of our actions, to listen to our inner compass, and to act with compassion and humility. As Nancy concludes his lesson, he offers a powerful reminder. Every decision we make is part of a universal dance. We are all interconnected, and the choices we make not only shape our own lives, but also impact the lives of those around us. In the end, the story of the letter M on your palm is less about the lines on your hand and more about the potential that lies within you. Whether you bear this mark or not, the important thing is to remain aware of your role in the grand tapestry of life. By cultivating mindfulness, wisdom, and compassion, we can all unlock the power to guide ourselves and others toward greater spiritual fulfillment. If you're lucky enough to have this mark, It might be a reminder of your potential. But for everyone, this story serves as a call to look inward, trust your instincts, and walk your own path with grace and humility. After all, as Ninsi reminds his disciples, every journey is unique, and every soul has the power to shine.